Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy October, which is arguably, at least I'm going to argue, is one of the best months of the year. I love the month of October. Fall's officially here. It's the month that precedes the holiday month, so you have that like holiday anticipation without the stress of the part of actually getting ready for the holidays. But not only that, fall makeup, which is why you guys are here, and I have some really good stuff to talk about today. I was very busy this month. I did try out a lot of new makeup and a lot of stuff I really did fall in love with. So we're gonna get into it. But quickly before I do, I want to give a special warm welcome to anyone that is new here. Very happy to have you here at my channel. I hope that you enjoy this video. If you do, make sure that you subscribe before you leave, that your notifications are turned on. And with that, let's get to the makeup. Okay, so I did say makeup, but I wanted to share with you guys this sweater. I actually got the sweater at Walmart of all places. It was like $11.98, and I think it's the cutest thing ever. Very, very cute. Who isn't a fan of leopard print, especially in the fall? Actually, I don't know. Is this a leopard? I have no idea. It could be a giraffe. Let's start with the foundation. So I do have two foundations that I wanted to share with you guys today that I loved this last month. And actually, I could have mentioned two more, but I told myself, no, just pick the top two. And one of those is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. I tried this out this last month. It was on sale during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I got it for half price. I really love this. It works really well for my skin. Great coverage, really nice and hydrating. I love the bottle and the packaging. I love the pump of this. I always love a pump on a foundation, but not all pumps are created equal. Some pumps you can have issues with, like they have a hard time pumping product out, or they pump out too much or too little. I love the amount that this pumps out. It's like just the right amount. I have the shade 270C, which tends to be, it is a little bit yellow on me. It's a little bit dark, but when I combine it with just a little bit of this one, which is 160C, it gives me a really good shade match as well. So that's a new favorite of mine. Very happy that I decided to pick that one up. I was kind of on the fence about it. Probably didn't need to buy it. It was one of those days I just wandered over to the Ulta Beauty sale when maybe I thought that I shouldn't have, but I'm glad that I did. But another foundation I really have been loving. This one is quite new. I have been using it now for about a week, and it is one that you recommended, and by you I mean several of you. It's the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation. This is really, really nice. It's really good and hydrating. It's very, very thin and lightweight. It actually reminds me a lot of a high-end foundation of mine that I really love. In fact, I have a video coming up very soon where we're going to be talking about some drugstore dupes for some of my favorite high-end makeup products. I think I'm going to put this in that video because it does remind me so much of a favorite foundation of mine that I'm not going to give away today, but I absolutely love it. Especially if you have dry skin, you like something a little bit dewy and more hydrating. This is really lovely. Let's talk about a mascara. This is another one that I've only been using for about a week now, but I've used it every day and I am mad about this mascara. It is the e.l.f. Lash It Loud mascara. This was another recommendation from you guys. This is such a good mascara from the drugstore. I think you can get this for around $6. I really love what this does for my lashes. It checks all of my boxes. It gives me separation, but it also gives me a lot of length, and it gives me really good volume, and the type of volume that's not like messy or clumpy. It just makes me look like I have a lot more quantity of eyelashes. I don't know if that makes sense. There's some mascaras that like apply a ton of product to where each lash looks really thick and heavy, which I kind of like that look too. I'm thinking of like the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. This one actually makes it look like I have more lashes individually. So it's just a really good mascara, and the price tag, I mean, $6, plus it has really cute packaging. Really, really nice. By the way, it does remove really easily at night with soap and water, but it doesn't give me any smudging or flaking by the end of the day, which is, I mean, those are, what more could you ask for in a mascara than that? Let's jump over to a couple of lip products. I do have two lip products that were standouts this last month. First off, this one right here. This is the Persona E-Balm. This made it home with me in an order that I placed with Persona that I did. I did a video on some new products from Persona towards the beginning of last month, I believe. This was kind of a random purchase for that video. I didn't really have much interest in, normally I don't have a lot of interest in like tinted lip balms or lip balm type products because I usually just look at them, especially when they're a little more expensive, which this was. This was, I think, around $20, $22. But you guys, this is so good. It is the perfect lip product for what I like in something that's quick and easy. It's a good mix of like if you were to combine a lipstick, a gloss, and a lip balm all together, that's what you would get with this right here. I am wearing it on my lips today. That's the color that you're seeing, which I think is such a perfect color. It's a nude that's not too light or too dark for me. It's not too pink or too orange or too peach for me. It's like the perfect color that goes with just about anything. Let me give it a swatch on the back of my hand. I do have some lip liner on along with it on my lips, so some of that depth that you're seeing around the rim is coming from the, what is it, the Milani 04 Nude Lip Liner. Here's the color. You can see it's a good, just nude kind of peach. It's really nice and shiny, and above all, it is So comfortable, not sticky at all, very hydrating on my lips. It's more like a lip treatment that looks really good is kind of how I would describe it. I also have been really loving this right here. This is an old favorite of mine. It's from L'Oreal. It's from their Colorish Shine lipstick line. It's in the shade Shining Peach. I've been a longtime fan of this specific lip product, but it's kind of been sitting in my drawer untouched and lonely over this last year, and I recently pulled it back out to use as more of like a lip topper when I may be putting a darker liner or a darker lipstick on to lighten up and add some shine to the center of my lips. This is perfect for that. Great formula, nice and shiny, very hydrating. It gives a good amount of color, but it looks good on top of just about anything, whether that's just a lip liner or a darker colored lipstick. I absolutely love these. They're so good. I still need to pick up more shades of these, but I'm beginning to wonder if I'd maybe missed the boat. These have been around for a while. Are they still available? Have they been discontinued yet? I think they are still available, but they're still really, really good. Let's move over to some cheap products. There are a lot of them, starting off with some bronzers. So let's go with this one first. This is from Fenty Beauty. This was another recommendation from you guys, the Fenty Cheeks Out Cream Bronzer. This one's in the shade Butter Biscuit. So good. Oh my gosh, you guys. Probably if I was to rank the products I tried so far in that video of your recommendations that I just posted, which I keep mentioning, I'm going to link it for you guys right here in case you didn't have a chance to see it. This might be in the #1 spot. I love this so much. It is the most perfect formula and color of bronzer if you're into cream bronzers, which I am. This one is lovely. I am wearing it on my cheeks today, along with the blush that we'll get to in a sec, but let me give it a swatch for you guys again, in case you haven't seen that last video that I did. Look how perfect this shade is. I would say for anyone that has light to fair skin, and there are a ton of shades of these, by the way, so fear not, no matter what your skin tone is, there's going to be something for you, and the formula is really, really nice. Very nice and creamy and blendable, but more than anything, this is just the perfect bronzer shade for me. So good. I can't stop using this. I know that that video just went up a couple days ago for you guys, but that video I filmed about a week ago, and I have been using this pretty much every day since, and I can't put it down. It is fantastic. And let's just stick with another thing from that video that I had to mention today, the Tower 28 blush. You guys, this is so good. I kind of hate to talk about two high-end cheek products in the same video that I happened to try out in the same video that was relatively recent, but these are so good. It looks kind of like a color you'd see in any blush, but there's just something really unique about this color. I mean, it's the perfect mix of a pink and a peach, but there's also something kind of dusty to this, almost like a dusty rose mixed with like a pop of pink and a pop of peach. I don't know. I'm over explaining per usual, but you guys, it's so beautiful. It looks so good on my cheeks. It is what I'm wearing today. You see how it gives me like warmth, but I also get a little bit of like coolness to it. Oh, I don't know. My descriptions are all falling flat, but this does not fall flat. It is so amazing. I also think these are actually pretty affordable considering you can buy them at Sephora. I think this thing was only $20, and there's a ton of product inside here. The formula does remind me a lot. The more I've used it, the formula reminds me so much of the Milani formula. So if you've tried out the Milani cream blushes, which I do really love, it is very similar in formula. I only have one of those blushes, only one shade, and it is much more berry or pink tone than this one right here, but you guys, it is the shade above anything of this blush that I think is so special. Let's talk about some stuff from Nabla. I did try out a whole lot of Nabla cheek products this last month, and after trying them all, these are the three that I most recommend. So let's go through them really quickly. This is their bronzer. It's in the shade Ombre, which is such a nice shade of bronzer if you have light to fair skin. Now, it is quite light of a bronzer, so if you have medium to deep skin, I would try out, I think they have 1 or 2 more shades of this bronzer, so there are other options, but the formula of this is also really, really nice. If you like a bronzer that has a subtle amount of sheen to it, think the Hourglass bronzers. The formula really does remind me quite a bit of like that type of a formula. And what I mentioned about the color of the Fenty bronzer kind of applies to this one as well. It's a good mix between a warm and a cool tone. It gives me that nice warmth with a tiny bit of like contour without it being too ashy, which you guys know I'm kind of averse to. There's the color right there. It's so, so pretty. It has the perfect amount of sheen. And as I mentioned in that video, the packaging of these is so cute and adorable. They are pricey. They're a little more high-end priced. I think they're $24 a piece, so they're definitely up there in price tag, but the packaging and the formula and the colors I think make them worth their price if you're to high-end makeup. I've also been so impressed with this blush right here. This is in the shade Independence. Beautiful kind of mauvey berry blush. I love those types of shades, especially in the fall. Same thing goes with this formula. It's so beautifully luminous but not shimmery. Now the other shade that I have is quite shimmery, and I do like that one as well, but it's going to give you some serious sheen on your cheeks. So if you're opposed to like texture being emphasized right here, it is going to emphasize a little bit of texture. I don't find this one to do that for me though. It's beautiful. It reminds me so much of Hourglass, and not just Hourglass in general. It reminds me of one of my favorite Hourglass bronzers. So we're going to swatch them together today. So here's the shade Independence. Let me give this a little swatch on the back of my other hand. So here's the shade Independence from Nabla. You guys see that subtle sheen? Oh, so pretty. And then I have right here one of my favorite little blushes from Hourglass. This is the shade Mood Exposure, which I absolutely love. Let me just swatch these two next to each other. I think Mood Exposure is just a little bit lighter. Okay, so it is quite a bit lighter, but the way these look on the cheeks is very, very similar. Big fan of this one. Such a pretty blush shade and formula. And last but not least, I have this highlighter. This is the shade Ozone. This one you guys specifically mentioned when I did my poll. It was one of the ones you guys mentioned. A couple of you had mentioned the Nabla Ozone highlighter, and this, you're right, this is fantastic. I mean, the moment I tried this one out, specifically this shade, this is my favorite of the bunch. It's very, very intense, very icy, but not sparkly or glittery. Really, really pretty highlight. Look at that, you guys. Oh, it does remind me quite a bit of Double Gleam by MAC and that Revlon Skin Lights highlighter that I love so much. So I will say that if you're looking to save a little bit of money, because this one is a little more pricey, try the Revlon highlighter out if you haven't yet. You probably have already, because I've been raving about it like crazy for the last year. But this is quite similar to that one. It might be a little bit more champagne in tone than gold or warm like the Revlon one, but I love it. I can't stop reaching for it. It is the highlighter I'm wearing today. I don't know what's showing up, but it's so good. Before we get into a couple of eyeshadow palettes I wanted to mention, I do want to mention a liquid eyeshadow. It is from Sydney Grace, and this one specifically, this is the shade Starstruck. This is so pretty. I am wearing on my lids today. That's that sparkle that you're seeing on my lids. So I actually have 4 of these now, the liquid, or I can't remember. I think they're called her cream shadows, whatever. It's the ones that come in the tube. I wanted to swatch all of them for you guys today. I do like all of them. This one came in a gift bag. I doubt that I'll get a lot of use out of this one because it's a little bit dark, but man, you guys, it is so pretty. If ever I or Charlie dress up like a mermaid for Halloween and we need some mermaidy makeup, this is definitely going to be one I will reach for. This one is the shade Starry Night. Let me swatch it for you guys. It's a green. Oh, it's so pretty. It reminds me of like a MAC Club-esque type of shadow. I'm sure you guys have seen shades similar to this, but the reflect on these is insane. They are so good. Look how pretty that is. But let me swatch the one I'm specifically mentioning today, and it's this one, Starstruck. It has glitter in it, so if you're completely opposed to glitter particles in your eyeshadow, this one does have some serious sparkle to it, but it's so pretty, and the glitter particles are quite refined, but as you kind of blend it out, it just gives you this intense like reflect that's so very princess-like looking, very elegant. I don't know. It's like the perfect amount of glitter to where it gives you a lot of added sparkle and shine without looking like you're maybe wearing glitter from a distance at least. It's just the right level of glitter, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And it is somewhat more sheer, so I find that this goes good with any eye look that I'm pairing it with. So sometimes I can even put it on top of a shade of eyeshadow if I want to add some sparkle, or I can just use it as like my lid color like I did today. Very, very pretty. I think this one is my favorite, but I want to swatch these two as well just so you guys can see how they compare. I think it's always helpful to see things swatched next to each other. This is another one of my favorites right here. This shade Candlelight. This reminds me a lot of the shade Starstruck, but it doesn't have the intense sparkle in it. It's more just like a true metallic or shimmer. Here it is right here. It's a good, just metallic shell pink. And last but not least is this one. Another one I think is beautiful. This is the shade Boardwalk, and it's more of a bronzy, like a pink toned bronze. This is also so beautiful. They're all lovely, absolutely stunning, and you guys, these do not budge. This is the only product that has that amount of glitter in it that does not fall down throughout the day. I don't get too upset or annoyed if I have some sparkle fall out down below my eyes by the end of the day, but if you get annoyed by that type of a thing, but you'd like to wear something sparkly and glittery, I'm telling you, this is the answer to that problem. Alright guys, we are just about done. I do have a couple of eyeshadow palettes, and by a couple I mean there's 4, and I really had to work hard to narrow these down because there were more that I wanted to mention. I've really been hitting the eyeshadow palettes hard this month. I've tried quite a few new ones out. Plus I've been dabbling in some of my old favorites, and these are the ones that I've landed on today. So let's start with the one that is not new to me. In fact, this one's not even available anymore. So take a sigh of relief if you're worried about me tempting you to buy something. It is the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. This is a palette that's slowly grown on me. I mean, I don't ever want to say I wasn't a fan of this when I first tried it out I think it was last winter or fall, right? Is that when this released? I can't remember, honestly. This is such a great palette. It is really, really good. Now, I don't know what it was that took me a little longer to fall in love with this one, but I'm really coming to enjoy this palette more and more. You definitely want to be someone that likes a little bit of color, but surprisingly, even like with the purples, the looks that come out of like using some of these purples or popping the pink or even the yellow in the crease are still kind of neutral. And I think the reason for that is this side is basically full of pastels. When you pair pastel with a rich color, like you get a neutral, colorful look. On my eyes today, let's flip this over. I went in with this peach right here up through my transition. Then in the outer corner, I added a little bit of this kind of orangey peach initially to darken things up. And then I added a mixture of these two, that brown and that kind of burgundy right there to kind of deepen things up. And I really layered up those two shades to get that depth in the outer corner. It looks so beautiful. It's rich. It's somewhat colorful. Like you can see a little bit of that purpley red, which you guys know how much I love to mix a red and a brown because it gives you that like purple that I think looks amazing on the outer corner. You also get some really beautiful lid shades in here, even though they're not completely traditional. I mean, this one is. This is a shell pink. You also get this kind of green toned gold. I love this green shimmer. This lavender purple is also really lovely. Packaging's adorable. The smell is great. I mean, a great palette, especially for fall, if you're into a little bit of color. I also wanted to highlight the Natasha Denona Retro palette. Now, this palette, I've really been enjoying. I still have a couple of criticisms with it. I just feel like it's a little monochromatic, which I love a monochromatic palette, but when I'm spending $65 on an eyeshadow palette, I usually like just a little bit more versatility. However, with that said, I'm really into berry tones, and these are the type of berry tones that I love. I love the variety of sparkly lid shades in here. You get some beautiful lid shimmers in here that look so pretty and sparkly and iridescent on your eyes. I just absolutely love it. So it's been a fun one. I do think there are dupes out there. In fact, keep an eye out for that dupe video that I keep talking about. I feel like I'm giving all kinds of clues away for that video. I do have a dupe or a close dupe for this palette in that video, so keep an eye out for that, but it is one that I've really been enjoying and I think is going to be a good long-time favorite for me. I also wanted to mention this little cutie palette, the Nabla Analog Cutie Palette. This is so good. I love these little palettes. I don't know why I'm so in love with these palettes, so much more in love with these ones than I have been with some of the other Nabla palettes, which I do really like, but these ones really have my heart. I used it in a recent video where I did the Ulta try-on for you guys. It's full of staples, but they're also somewhat unique. This gold is so intensely gold, but in the most beautiful, sparkly way. Look at that. Liquid metal on the eyes. You know I love liquid metal on the eyes. Absolutely stunning. I love this iridescent kind of peach. It's like a, I don't know, like a duochrome, I guess you could say. It's peach, but it's also gold. I'd even say it has some pink in it. So pretty on the lids. Really nice if you like a warm look and you like something simple. So pretty. I absolutely love it. And last but not least, I'm going to crown this one my favorite of the bunch. And it's this little Essence Dancing Green palette. So I tried out 4 of these in a recent video that I did towards the beginning of the month. I raved about them in that video and I stand by that rave. They're all really great, but this one especially, this is the one I used in that video. I'm going to link that video for you guys right here because that is one of my favorite eye looks I think I've done in the last 6 months. I absolutely love this palette. I've come back to it several times this month. If you're into greens, even just a little bit, these are the greens from my dreams. Oh, gag, Mandy, that rhymed. Yes, I did do that on purpose. I'm sorry, but you guys, this is so good. The quality of this little $3.99, I think, eyeshadow palette is out of this world. I love the combination of shades inside here. I love how rich and deep this green is, but I also love how muted these other greens are. Makes for the perfect green eye look. I want to give a little shout out to these 3, which I'm going to say are kind of runners up. This is by far my favorite of the bunch, but I also have really loved the bronzed palette, the coral one, the mauve palette. I've used a couple of times. Honestly, these are cooler tones that are not like my type of cooler tone. I'm not usually into like cooler tone purples unless they're combined with some like berry tones. So I haven't used this one a ton, but I've used them all enough to know that the quality is really great if you're into more bronze tones. With really, really great one. And then this coral one right here, I also really love. I love that you get the deep brown in here, you get some gold and some kind of peachy coral shades as well. Really fantastic, but I'm gonna go with the green one because I just think this is such a perfectly done green palette. I would pay $15 for this. Like, I would almost pay this price tag for these eyeshadows. They are that good. Go out and get it if you haven't yet. $4. It'll be the best $4 that you spend. Trust me, if you like green eyeshadow, which I do. Okay, you guys, my voice is just about toast, but that is all. I got through everything. I'm sorry if this one was a little bit overwhelming, but I just couldn't leave any of this stuff out because I have been truly loving all of these makeup products. I hope that this was enjoyable for you guys to watch. I would love to know what you guys have been loving during the month of September, or what you did love, because today is technically October. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Hope that you guys are doing well. Let me remind you one more time, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please be sure to do that before you leave. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys again. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.
This one?
I love greens.
Do you like this one?
Love that.
Ooh.
Yeah, my favorite. These last 2 years just are kind of blurring together in horror for us all. Okay, that wasn't funny.
Mom, where's your charger?
Oh, here you go. Jace needs to borrow my charger. There you go.
Now I have to look at my eye link.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That is beautiful. Look how bright and colorful it is.
And I got a little right here.
Yeah, it's all right. It kind of looks cool.
Well, that's good. It's off my nose.
Yeah, that's good.
Now it's better.
Oh, yeah, that's much better.
This side's kind of ruined.
It's fine.